Just kick off and we're going to start at a 2 seed. Do you feel like you cost yourself a possibility of a 1 seed yesterday?
Here's what I'll say is the difference in a 1 and 2 isn't that much. The difference in a 2 and 3 is enormous. So a 3 seed hosts 1 game. A 2 seed hosts a minimum of 3 games. So, I mean, we would play Friday night. If we won that game, then we would play Friday night. If we won that game, we would play Sunday at home. Right. And so that is a massive, and the 1 and the 2 is really about matchups. I mean, to answer your question, did we? Maybe, but it doesn't necessarily matter. It's more about like who you got in your brackets.
Okay. Well, then I'll go forward there. How did you feel about the matchups?
Yeah. I mean, we're not looking too far ahead.
Sure.
We'll play Northwestern State in the first round. They won their conference. We haven't obviously seen too much of them. We'll start watching, and get a sense of who they are. Anyone who wins their conference is going to be good. And, we'll have to get a sense of who they are.
Okay. Do you feel like going back to yesterday, since we didn't talk to you yesterday, do you feel like that you just got outplayed? I mean, tell me your thoughts following that.
Yeah. I mean, I've always said I don't really like the conference tournament. Soccer's not meant to be conference tournament, right? You're playing 3 games in 5-6 days. It's just not meant to be. It's not there's a reason we get to 5 finals, 6 finals, because we're the better team. And so for 2 days, we're better. And then you play a 3rd game and it's just war of attrition, right? We're not really built for that 3rd game. That's not what the NCAA tournament is. The NCAA tournament, you play 1 game, 2 games, 1 game, 2 game. That's what we're built for. Like, I can't imagine anyone's like pumped to come to Razorback Field on a Friday night and play us in a one-off. I've said to the team from the start, like they care about the conference tournament. So I do, but I mean, my goal is the NCAA tournament this year. I made that from the start. I mean, Paul even told you that early. Like,
you did.
I don't care about the conference tournament. I know it's a thing. We've been to 6 finals, but you know what? We played 6 different teams. No one else has even been to 2. So, when they start getting to more than 1, then they can start talking. But for now, we're focused on the NCAA tournament, and I'm excited about our draw.
Okay, I'll let somebody else go. Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Jonathan?
Coach, you mentioned your feelings about the conference tournament. So with that being said, does that make it kind of easier for your team to kind of put that loss behind them and move forward to the NCAA tournament, which you said that the team is better built for anyways?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's annoying, right? Because some of those kids, I think they wanted to win one just to kind of check it off their bucket list. But at the end of the day, like soccer's not meant to be played like that. No other place in the world do you do that. I mean, Taylor Mallon ran 11 miles on one of the games, right? Like, and then you're gonna have 1 day recovery and do it again. It's just not. Soccer's not designed for that. So the ACC has 6 teams. I mean, these are my personal takes on the SEC tournament. I'm not a conference tournament guy. I mean, I told him I was at UCF my last year. We lost in the first round of the conference tournament in Conference USA and went to an Elite 8 and beat UNC in Florida in the same weekend. So, I'm not a big conference tournament guy. I just don't think it's a good representative of your team because of the way the tournament's so tight. But yeah, I mean, we're proud of the team. We won some games. I think we won 2 games, which secured our 2 spot. And we're excited for the NCAA tournament.
What's the mood in the locker room, and where do you think their focus is at looking forward to Friday?
Yeah, I read an article, and it was Nick Saban in Alabama, and it said, "So what, now what?" And we've just kind of taken that, like, you know what? We didn't play well. We didn't have our legs. So what, now what? We're ready for the NCAA tournament. They're here. They're pumped. The vibe's really good, actually, and we're excited for a Friday night home game.
You guys have been excellent at home this year. So how valuable is it to have kind of start the journey off at Razorback Field, and what are you expecting on Friday?
I mean, we have the best fans in America. I think everyone in America would probably say that this is one of the toughest places to play in America. And so it's massive. Like, to have the potential of 3, you got to win some games, but of 3 home games, like, it's huge. You could not say how important and big it is.
And then I feel like sometimes during the season when you have kind of a team that's so good, it's almost like you're waiting for the tournament to come. You're just knocking out the games, just kind of waiting for it to start. What's it feel like to kind of now be at that point?
And, I don't want to like undervalue an SEC regular season championship, because there's a lot of, sports on campus and a lot of soccer teams in the conference that would love that and do anything for it. We've done that. I mean, I've made it known from the start. Those are not my goals this year. If we get them, great. If we don't, great. I want to get to the NCAA tournament because I think this team is built for an NCAA tournament run.
And I guess kind of going off of that, what about this team specifically makes them built for an NCAA tournament run and a run that can go further than the ones that haven't.
Well, talent, right? I mean, on a one-off, we're really, really difficult, right? I mean, we exert a lot of energy, we exert a lot of motion. So when you play 1-2, 1-2, I mean, we're built for this, right? You're going to have, I mean, ask anyone in America, are you excited about going to Arkansas in an important game on a Friday night and playing? And no one would say yes. And, you know, we're excited. We've never played more than one home game in an NCAA tournament. We were a 2 seed last year, but because of COVID, they're all neutral sites. So this will be fun and new for us. And, you know, we got to beat Northwestern State. They're very good. But we're excited about the possibility of getting more than one home game.
Cool. Thanks, Coach.
Nick.
There we go. Hey, Coach, you mentioned how important it is to be at home. What makes the ability to play possibly two home games so important? What's the advantage to that for your team?
I mean, our fans are unbelievable. That we feed off their energy. What we do requires a lot of energy. And when you're there, you can just feel it. From the second you walk in, you can feel it. We'll be under the lights, you know, so many people. It's actually the potential of 3 home games. But yeah, I mean, it's you couldn't oversell how important that is for us.
And I know you're kind of saying you got to win your first one. Have you, I mean, we were just talking right at the beginning of this as we barely got a chance to look at the brackets. Have you looked at any of the teams you have, Northwestern State and then possibly Virginia Tech, Ohio State, Purdue, Notre Dame on the other side of that? How do you assess that kind of immediate field that you could face?
I mean, everyone's good in the NCAA tournament, right? You know, anyone can beat anyone. It's what makes the tournament so fun for the casual fan. And I mean, obviously we just found out, right? So we don't have too much information. So I'd have to get you more on that. But my initial take is like, yeah, I mean, we're good enough to beat anyone, but we got to play hard to do it. So we know that the ball's in our court a little bit.
I know it was kind of asked a little bit about, you know, breezing over that SEC tournament, put it behind you. But I have just seen your team. I have never met a lot of that competitive of athletes. It seems like, you know, they're going to remember an SEC tournament loss. This is a team with a lot of fire. So now what's the message to this team as you go into now what is the most important part of your season?
Yeah, we're going to have to balance that a little bit because it is a lot, right? The tournament takes a physical toll on you. And so we're going to have to do some recovery. Tomorrow will be super light for some of those kids who play big minutes, probably mostly recovery. We need to get their bodies right, get their minds fresh, get them. I mean, they missed class for a week, right? I mean, and once we can get them right for a Friday night game, it'll be like a lot of our max prep will be a little different than normal, but we need to get into a routine and a schedule, which I'm excited to do.
Last one for me is just, it's looking ahead a little bit, but what would a deep tournament run mean for your program in the future?
There's no doubt it will happen. And I believe this will be the one who does it. And it would mean a lot, right? I mean, we've been knocking on the door of, you know, top 15, top 10, top 5, you know, and this is our way to cement that, you know. I mean, we've proven ourselves to be the top team in the conference, which is great. And now it's time to show the rest of the world how good we are.
Jordan. Oh, never mind. Anyone else? Russell?
Coach, talk about the scouting, I guess, when you get into a tournament like this where you're playing teams that, or maybe you're unfamiliar with, they're unfamiliar with you. How much of the scouting versus we're just going to come out and do what we do works in this type of tournament? It's
one of my favorite things about the NCAA tournament is you're playing teams you don't play all the time. I mean, even in the SEC tournament, we had played all 3 of those teams. So you just know each other. There's history. I mean, you're now playing teams you haven't played. The only team we've played since I've been here on our side is Virginia Tech. And I mean, we've never played Northwestern State, I don't think, since I've been here. We've never played Ohio State. We've never played Rutgers. Like, we've never played Purdue. So, like, that's exciting for us. You know, and I think on a one-off scout, we're probably pretty tough to prepare for because we play a little differently. And so I would think on their end, it's probably pretty difficult as well.
Thank you.
Josh?
Yeah, thanks, Coach. For the freshmen that have, you know, stepped up in the bigger roles that they've played as the years gone on with like players like Fitch and Aragon, have they just continued to impress you, or has it just kind of been those are the expectations and you knew that they could do it all along?
Well, they came into a tough spot, right? Because you returned everybody. You know, in a normal year, they probably would have been thrust into those roles, and this year they weren't. You know, and I'm sure at times it was frustrating for them, but they understood. And I do think in the long term it'll be good for them, right? Because they're learning from some pros. I mean, the players they're playing, with and behind are pros. I mean, I don't mean that figuratively, like they were drafted. And so it's going to be nothing but good for them. And we've told them, you got to be ready for these games, man. And I thought Van was fantastic. So it's been good all year. Van was fantastic in the SEC tournament. And we're going to need that to continue growing.
It seems like that confidence is shown from those younger players, or maybe players with lack of experience, that once they do get on the field in a game, it doesn't seem like their confidence is shaky at all. Is that all just because of who they're training against every day?
Yeah, I mean, you play against Parker and Malum and Vanny and Bree and Kayla every day. Like, there's just nothing. There's no one they're going to play against. They're going to be like, oh, I don't see this every day.
Yeah.
And some of it's just learning like details, right? It's probably the same in most sports. It's, you got to experience some stuff, right? I mean, it's different in training, and then you got to learn sets, and you got to learn some of the finer points and language and what we're doing and all that. And that sometimes takes time, but they've done a great job adapting.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
Anyone else?
Hey, I was just going to throw this out. All the seniors and super seniors you have, I mean, this would kind of cement their legacy with a deep run, right?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it. It's a balance, right? I mean, what they've done, regardless of how we do in the NCAA tournament, it's going to be cemented. I mean, this was a program that had never been to an NCAA tournament. And I think these crazy expectations are a testament to their legacy, right? I mean, I joke, they gave me a bonus for making the conference tournament my first year, like being the top 10 out of 14. And now there's an expectation that we go to a Final Four and win the SEC, and people are talking about, you've lost in 6 finals. Like, you made 6 finals, so I think that's just the expectation is good. And that takes time to get used to, right? I think baseball's finding that out a little bit, right? I mean, once you become we didn't win a national championship, we didn't have a good year. I mean, some of that's pretty fun, right? And I think that's where we're at, and that's where we're excited.
Thanks, Colby.
Thanks, guys. Am I getting Parker?